Welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here. We're going to talk about this great integrated 5-year master's program. Um, and this is going to be recorded, so it will be up on the website. So if you have any more questions or need to go back and listen to it, that's great. All right, so we'll get into some introductions. Here today we have Dr. Allison Norman. She is the Associate Chair of CS. We have the Graduate Program Administrator, Zach Yuan. And then myself, Margo Sabin. I'm the Undergraduate Academic Advisor. Seems like I have met with some of you guys, so welcome. Okay, so for the master's 5-year program, there's 3 graduate tracks. We have the iSchool, which is information studies. We have the CSEM, which is from Odin, and it's computational science, engineering, and mathematics. And then we have the computer science route. So these are just some options that you can do or apply to as a computer science major. All right, so why considered this program? So some things that you can think about is this is just for computer science majors. It's for students who are pursuing the BS. So you're not competing with a whole handful of other people, just CS students. So this is really attractive. So this is a great thing. It is in this industry today. It's really looks good to have a master's, some, graduate studies, anything like that, that will give you more of an upper hand in the job force. Um, it produces well-rounded students. You have to do some research, things like that. You just usually get better pay with your master's degree over the BS. So this is something to think about. More flexibility. Um, just in general, better career opportunities, hands down. So some eligibility for applying to the program. You can apply in late fall. This year, the application will open December 1st. Um, you must be pursuing the BS in computer science. BSA is, you have to have a BS in computer science. Um, we require minimum 3.0 overall GPA. Um, the minimum CS GPA is 3.5. That is recommended to be competitive, but if you're working towards a higher GPA, if you're a little bit underneath that, you can have some other things to kind of make up for that. Maybe your research, maybe your recommendation letters, things like that can help you out too. Dr. Norman, if you have anything to add to any of this, so please jump in.
Yeah, I was just gonna add that we do allow people to apply in their senior year as well. It makes it not a 5-year program at that point, but it is still an integrated BS-MS program. So other pieces here apply.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Um, we recommend having like 12 hours or less heading into your fall semester of your senior year. Um, that will make you more competitive also when you're trying to apply. Um, you must complete all of your CS courses before entering stage 1. Summer courses will not be allowed. And then you need to claim all of your credits before applying as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marcus, I
So,
just wanted to say that maybe they aren't familiar um, with stage 1. So stage 1 is that first year when you're still in
yes.
undergrad. So it's the first year of the 2-year integrated program.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Okay, some application checklist. The whole PDF for your application and all the things in this checklist are due by January 5th, except for the faculty recommendations. The 5-year integrated program application, you can find that on our website starting December 1st. You're going to have to write a statement of purpose, your academic summary, 2 recommendation forms from CS faculty or professors. You can also do an optional third, but it's really helpful. You really need to have the CS faculty. So make sure that you get to know your professors when you're working with them, go to office hours, ask questions, so that way they can kind of know you, get to know your face and your work ethics and things like that. Um, if you don't have a resume,
Mar
go ahead.
Margo, I was just gonna add about the recommendation forms. I was gonna say that when you're asking recommenders, you want to ask people who know what it takes to go through the graduate courses here. So if you ask people who are teaching graduate courses, that's a strong recommendation. If you also ask people who have seen you navigate like independent projects or projects in class, that can be a strong recommendation. You have to balance that with the people who know you well. So there's some thinking to do about who should write those for you.
Yeah, for sure. Um, Go ahead and get a resume together. So all the things that you worked for, your classes, any kind of research that you have done. If you happen to have a publication, that would be great also. That would be optional. So decision notifications will be sent out early to mid-spring this time. All right, so there is 2 stages. Stage 1 is your 4th year. That's your senior year. We ask that you don't take more than 15 hours max per semester while taking graduate courses. They are, more difficult than probably just an undergrad course. Um, you can take 12 hours of graduate coursework. So you can take 6 hours in the fall, 6 hours in the spring, and you can kind of split them up as well. You can do, you can do one one class at 3 hours and then 9 hours in the other semester. You also need to take your remaining undergraduate coursework. So all of your undergrad coursework will need to be finished by the end of stage 1. So make sure that your minor, if you're getting a double major, anything like that, that needs to all be complete. Your degree audit should be at 100% for your for bachelor's. The GRE is optional. It is waived this time, so you don't have to take it. You can if you want. And then you will be able to apply to the graduate school by the end of your spring semester in your 4th year. So that date is to be determined.
I guess Margo and Zach, I wasn't sure that it was waived also for so this group of students, if they apply this year, they would be applying to the grad school in fall 27. Were we able to get it waived that far in advance? Zach, I
GRE,
don't know what happened.
GRE, yeah, we're completely waived. We're good. From it's a permanent waiver, so from now on, no more GRE for 5-year program.
Great, thank you.
That makes it a little bit more attractive. Okay, some more things for stage 1. This is still your 4th year. We need you to maintain a 3.0 GPA in your CS undergrad classes in your graduate coursework. No grades below a B minus in your grad courses. And again, you have to think about balancing your undergrad work that you still need to complete with those graduate classes. They are more difficult, and you really need to focus on that grade as well. No course can count towards both undergrad and graduate credit before you get into the program. only 12 hours of graduate credit can be reserved as an undergrad. So you'll reserve your grad courses in your fourth year, and then we will allow you to register for them. And then they will kind of sit and wait for you, and they will move on to your stage five. I'm sorry, your stage two, your fifth year. Um, and then again, it's really important that you must finish all of your undergrad coursework by the time you enter stage two. Okay, so this is kind of like a little sample plan of what your third and fourth and fifth year looks like. Your third year, so your junior year, you need to be taking CS 331, so algo, and then probably some more upper div electives for CS. This is a sample. Not everybody's is going to look the same, but this is kind of the general. Spring semester, probably some more upper divs. We need to submit our application for the program. And then your fourth year, if you get accepted, and this is stage one, maybe you're finishing up your undergrad CS upper divs or any other undergrad coursework, and then you can start taking those two grad courses in the fall. Come spring semester, you'll have two more grad courses because you can take 12 hours to stage two. So this is your 12 hours. And then you will submit your application for grad school. In the fifth year, that's stage two. Now you're done with all of your bachelor's undergrad coursework. Then you have the fall semester, you have three grad courses, and spring semester looks the same. And then finally, you get finished, and then you submit your grad application for your BS and your master's. All right. Zach, I'm going to stop sharing here. So do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, I'll go ahead share my
Okay.
screen. You can
Okay.
yeah. All right, so give me one sec. Let me share my screen. So, oh, by the way, first let me introduce myself. My name is Zach. I'm the grad program administrator. So I'm basically the Margo on the grad side. So yeah, like really excited to meet you guys. By the way, I received a few questions. Like some of you guys arrived late. It's okay. This session is recorded. We'll later on post the whole recording to the website, so you're not missing anything. And I did receive a few like a question directly. That's maybe more appropriate answer by Dr. Norman. So I just made her co-host. So I think you now can. You have option to message her directly. So yeah, I think that should be working. So I'll basically talk a little bit more about like the four like basically the year your senior year and then your grad school year. Like also talk about like the transition there. So 5 year program is a pretty unique program in the UT category because like you'll be transitioning from undergrad to grad. So although you'll be still in the same building, you'll be still in the same classroom, but it's totally different story. So I'll say something like very simple for you guys. Like, for example, for undergrad, you have like pass and fail, right? But in grad school side, we don't have that thing. We have something called a credit, no credit. For pass or fail, you got a D minus, you pass the course. But for the grad school side, you like credit, no credit, you have to have a C or better. So it's very different. And this not only like, shows on the like academic, like, academic procedure side, also your status. So for example, like something like Margo mentions, like, oh, you have to finish your undergrad stuff on your senior year. The reason why is even you don't feel that, you still need to like submit an application to grad school. And then grad school has to do the admission process. You don't feel that you just submit the application and then you feel like, oh, you got accepted. But there's a really big jump. So in order for grad school to accept you, you have to have undergrad degree. And if you didn't finish your undergrad degree, You say, hey, maybe like I have one course left, maybe I'll finish in the fall semester. No, you can't. You have to finish your undergrad degree in order to be admitted to grad school. So while you guys are on the stage one, basically your senior year, no matter what, focus on your undergrad degree, making sure you finish that, and then we can move on to the stage two. And here is a sort of like a schedule for like for your year one and year two, basically like your senior year and the first year of grad school. And this one shows like a sample schedule for the research pathway. Also, we call it the thesis option. So mainly it's like on the grad side. So you will see like, oh, you finish your undergrad side, you take some undergrad research course. I would strongly encourage you guys to talk to Margo regarding undergrad research option. If you're thinking about doing research on the grad school time also, because at grad school time, you will be better if you have already have some experience and then already have like basically a vision about what you want to do and then you can finish that in a year. Otherwise, if you just like, jump in the research, suddenly on your grad stage, it might gonna cause delay. So I'll definitely strongly encourage you guys to start like, research early, set up a plan, talk to faculty members, and then, go to the research pathway. So the main difference is like, you will take grad courses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So those will be like some of the grad requirements. You don't have to worry about that right now, but like once you got admitted, we'll talk a little bit more in the orientation session about what those courses are. And then something different is like a CS 698A and B. So those two are the thesis courses. So each of them are not 6 hours, but they're 3 hours because they're like A and B part of the same course. So A and B add together 6 hours. So this one is actually not a real course because you don't have like lectures to go to, stuff like that. You basically just do research with a faculty member, and you will come up with a master thesis, and you will just do it. So yeah, basically this is like the research thesis option. If you're interested in research or potentially thinking about like doing a PhD in the future, this will be a perfect option to help you get into the research world. And more importantly, like Margo also mentioned, right now the computer science like industry is shifting really fast. So definitely have a research background to really help you guys to stand out you know in the market because right now we don't know what the future is. We need to research what the future is with the AI developing really fast. So yeah, this might be a great option if you're interested in that. If you're more focused on the coursework, it's also totally fine. There's no one better than the other. No, it's just same degree. It's just sort of like based on what you're interested in. If you want like take more advanced courses to equip yourself with like different knowledges, perfect. So basically, you'll be just more focused on courses. So basically, you will see on your stage two, like basically under the first year of grad school, you'll be just taking courses instead of doing the thesis. There's no one better than the other, so it just depends on what you're interested in. All right, so basically, like the master program, like will still do 30 hours in total, which is the same thing as the traditional masters. But you like rather than like the reason why you can like take a little bit shorter is because you already take some courses in advance when you're undergrad. However, here the saying like the 12-hour is the upper limit about how many hours you can bring to the grad school, but it's not a hard requirement. So for example, if you struggle like with certain courses you need to drop or make changes, need more room, it's totally fine. We understand, we'll work with you. So you don't have to, you don't have to worry too much about that. And yeah, basically that's the upper limit. But at the same time, if you want to bring more to the stage two, can you do that? No, you can't. Grad school set the rules like, nope, you can't bring more hours to stage two. So, yeah, unfortunately, 12 hours upper limit. So this 30 hour was it consist of 9 hours of diversity courses. Now we have a new name called breadth courses. But like lots of students still refer that as diversity, so we're currently using both name. So basically, there are one course from each of the area, series, system, and applications. We have like a full list of the courses. Once you got admitted, you will like I mean also you can search our website to find the list. There are lots of courses to choose from, so you have to do one from each category. We require B minus or better. So yeah, because they're very important courses for the grad program. And then after this requirement, you will have like a 15 hours of like basically you can choose whatever you prefer. So we have like a 395T, there are topic courses. Also, you're certainly welcome to take any of the other courses. So that will be, however, that must be come from computer science. You say like, oh, is this computer science engineering? Okay, no, it has to be computer science courses. And then after that, you will have like 6 hour minor coursework outside of CS. So this 6 hours had most like so this part is designed for you to explore like other other area of study. So we really strongly encourage you guys to take things outside of CS. So for example, you can take courses from information studies, like iSchool, like some students take statistics, mathematics, ECE. There are lots of options. But at the same time, you will submit like a basically like a short application to Dr. Plaxton, um, like a grad advisor, like our faculty advisor, Dr. Plaxton, explain why you want to take it, and he will let you know is like if you approve that. So yeah, that will be 6 hour minor course for you to explore like outside of CS. So another very important thing is like you must maintain 3.0 GPA, like in all the grad coursework. So basically at the end of the 5 year, you will receive both your undergrad and master's degree. I see there's some chat messages. Yeah, I think I don't see any questions for me, but if there are any questions, let me know. All right, let's keep
Hey,
going.
Zach.
Yes.
There was a question about taking grad courses as an undergrad, and
Uh-huh.
I mentioned that you have to reserve them for credit before you take them, but I don't know much about that process.
So Margo, we have a form for the student to like reserve the course. I think like grad school requires them to be submitted in the first 2 weeks of class, right? Each semester.
The first 4 days.
Oh, first 4 days. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, like we'll figure out which course you're taking and then reserve the credits. Yeah. But if you reserve the credits for grad school, you couldn't use that for undergrad. So hopefully that answered the question. Okay, if you have follow-up question, feel free to type in the chat and I'll answer that after that. All right. So oh FAQ, I think those are more undergrad questions. So the first FAQ is do both my recommendation forms need to be from UT faculty? I think this will be a question for you, Dr. Norman. Do you want to explain a little bit more about that?
Um, I can, so they don't have to be from UT faculty. Are not going to reject recommendations from other places. However, the committee is made up of UT faculty members, and they are more likely to listen to the people they know. That's how this all works, okay, with the recommendations. So you want to think really hard before you bring in a recommendation from outside. Typically, if you were thinking of bringing in one from like an industry manager or something like that, those people are not aware of what the committee is looking for, and when they're trying to understand about you as they look to determine whether you should be admitted to the program. So I think that like we don't like the committee doesn't reject them. We don't toss them out before they get to the committee or anything like that. But the closer you can get to faculty who are teaching in the program, who know a lot about the program, the better off you are.
Thank you so much, Dr. Norman. I see there are a few questions for me. So the question is for the stage two, we would take 2 grad courses plus research or 3 grad courses plus a minor coursework. So for the stage two, you will be taking 9 hours for both semester. So that will be 2 grad courses plus research or 2 grad courses plus a minor course. So basically, like for the minor, we just consider as grad courses. We didn't put us in a separate category. But same time, you are allowed to take like minor courses in stage one also. Basically, you just need to ask for like Dr. Plexton's approval, and you are certainly welcome to take like grad courses from like, for example, ECE, data science, or iSchool, or something like that. Basically, any approved coursework in stage one, and then we can also reserve that, and you can bring that to stage two. Hopefully, that answers the question. So if I want to take a grad course next semester, would that be for an undergrad only? So it's depends. If you want to take a grad course, you can always fill out a form to reserve for grad school. But it's just a bit risky because if you reserve this, like, I'm not sure if you can unreserve it. That would be might be a tricky process. So like if you like, I'll suggest you to talk to your undergrad advisor, maybe talk to Margo to see like what the plan is before we reserve it. Because yeah, that could be a bit of tricky process to unreserve that. Um minor so the minor courses which choose must be grad courses for so minor courses can be upper division courses from undergrad. However, you could not take that as undergrad. So the reason why is we could not reserve undergrad courses for grad school. And that's just like sounds weird, but after you become like after you enter grad school, you can take a upper division undergrad courses for your minor. It's a really it's a tricky thing, but just like there's just a very general rule, just like you cannot reserve undergrad courses for grad. So yeah, basically yeah, you like if you were thinking about something like that, you just making sure you will work with your academic advisor to make sure your plan works. If you're unsure, feel free to loop me in. But yeah. Um, all right, and then I'll talk a little bit more about the next question. Am I allowed to take more than 12-hour grad courses? Yes, you can certainly take more, but you can only bring 12 to the grad side. So, yeah. So the next one is like what makes a competitive applicant? Margo, Dr. Norman, you guys can uh, add more maybe to that question.
Um, Definitely your recommendations have a lot of weight. A lot of our applicants do have high GPAs, higher than 3.5. So just make sure you're thinking about that, especially if you're a freshman, a sophomore, make sure you're working on that, keeping your GPA up. Um, yeah, your selection of your upper div electives. Maybe you want to do a concentration. If you're going to do research, pick the concentration that kind of goes with your research. Anything else that you want to add, Dr. Norman?
Yeah, I would say that your GPA matters less than the selection of your upper division classes. So all those electives, a whole lot of them allow you to do independent projects at the end, more like independent research projects where you're navigating a project that doesn't have a lot of specifications. That can be really helpful because a lot of our grad classes also require that. So if you are taking these courses that are sort of the undergrad version of grad courses, then that's much more helpful to the committee to see how you did in those than it is to take some of the other courses. So your GPA does matter, but it is less important to have the highest GPA possible than it is to take some of the more challenging courses. If you're clearly choosing the easiest courses to have the high GPA, then the committee does not like that very much. Yeah, I think that's all I have to add to that.
All right. For the next one, does the integrated degree program differ from a traditional BS degree? I think the answer here is more toward the undergrad. Margo, you want to talk more about that?
Sure. Um, when you get a traditional BS in computer science, you need to take 8 CS upper div electives. Um, the the difference here is you only need 6 CS upper div electives because the last two, those are your grad courses in your stage one, your senior year. So those two, the last 2 CS upper div, they're taken up with your grad courses. Um, yeah, I think that's
Yeah, on the grad
pretty
side is
much.
yeah, on the grad side is like a little bit faster for you guys to graduate for sure because you're taking some like grad courses already. It's mainly it's like oh if you want to speed up, it's perfect option for you. And also a little bit more on the mission side is like the mission like the mid rate from the integrated program is a little bit higher than you just apply for the MS. Basically, we have like a different process and different pool, like different like applicant pool for those two passes. So yeah, like I'll like if you're thinking between those two, I do think like integrated program will be a great option. So. Let's move on to the next stage. So we have some of the information from the iSchool and also Odin's program, but like as a, basically we're not experts on that. We'll just like show you guys slides. You guys will also receive the slides after the session. So, but I'll definitely strongly encourage you to go to their website to look at their information.
Yeah,
Um,
Zach,
yeah,
before we move on, there's a question in the chat about the Turing degree and graduating and the stage one and completion before going on to the grad program, which I think will apply whether you're doing the CS or the information or whatever.
mhm.
My understanding is that they do have to complete their thesis before as part of the undergraduate year, but I wanted to check with y'all.
Yeah. So, yeah, they do have to finish their undergrad degree before they move on to the grad side. Otherwise, it's gonna get really messy really quick.
So for the touring, they have to complete all the requirements for touring to get that touring degree. So if you have to do a thesis, you need to do the thesis for touring.
Yep. Basically, if you guys just think about like, it's high school and college, it's make more sense. You cannot be admitted by UT if you didn't finish your high school stuff, right? You cannot take your high school courses on your freshman year. It's like, well, so from bachelor to grad school, in some way it feels like the same thing. Although you're in the same campus, same building, but yeah. So definitely try to like no matter what, finish all your undergrad stuff while you're undergrad. All right. So, any more questions? Okay. We'll keep going a little bit more. So, iSchool, definitely really also really good program. As I mentioned, I'll strongly encourage you to explore their courses. Because like, the introduction here is very general, but like I would strongly encourage you to look at their grad courses. If they have like things they're in like if the courses they offer really interests you, I think that will be a great option. So like I don't have too much to say about their program, but if you're interested, check out their website. Maybe schedule an appointment with their grad advisor. They can give you a little bit more information about that. So, um, I'm not super confident on my ability to explain those information, so I'll just show them to you. You will receive this information later. But definitely check out their website. They do have like a direct contact, like an email address for prospective students. So yeah, like you can definitely email that to them. The same thing is there's like Odin's program. My understanding is like their program is like more integrated. They will require you to take like more courses from like mathematics, also ECE side. At the same time, I'm not expert, so I was also like refer you guys to the Odin side. You can talk to more, talk to them a little bit more. But something I didn't notice is like, they do require a little bit more hours. So you may want to talk about them about like what the projected timeline is. So any questions?
Yeah, you guys can take yourself off mute if you have a question.
Yeah. Will you hold the workshops to review applications?
So we don't typically hold workshops to review applications. I do think that there's a lot of information out there about how to write a statement of purpose, and you should look at that. VJ Shadambaram, who teaches like our virtualization class, has a bunch of information linked from his website. One of the mistakes that people make when they go to write a statement of purpose is they think it's a lot like the undergraduate college essay, but it's not. It's an explanation of why this program at this school at this time is the right one for you. And so you want to focus on that and not like your journey to computer science.
Any more questions for? We got one. Is there an estimate of the number of students that are accepted?
This cohort right now, we accepted, I think, around 34. Some of them have decided to part ways with the program. And I think we have about 29 or 30 in this cohort.
Yeah, I would add about the number of students accepted. This is based on what's happening in the graduate program and how many seats are going to be available in classes, and it's done in negotiation with the seats for the regular masters. So it is a little hard to predict from year to year.
All right, the next question is, are there any statistics available in terms of typical career outcomes for different tracks? Um, Actually, I'm not. I think there might be a data. That will be with the Friends of CS. I'll look into it. I'll let you guys know. But at the same time, with the job market like changing really, really fast, it's hard. Like I'll say, like definitely having a master is advantage. And I'll strongly encourage you focus on yourself. If you feel like you want to learn more, you're interested in research, go for it. So yeah, but at the same time, like you're certainly welcome to talk to like career advisors a little bit more about like the options that are out there. Oh,
Justin, if you're asking about the different tracks, like the different CSEM versus CS versus the iSchool track, I think that I think you really want to go with the one, like the material you want to learn. I think that doing courses at this level, it's a very deep dive into the topics, right? For topics you don't care about is going to be kind of miserable.
All
There
right.
was a
Mm.
question, sorry, Zach.
Oh,
If you're applying in your junior year, uh, you said we should finish all of our, I think you meant BS degree requirements at the end of the junior year. That should be finished by the end of your senior year. Your junior year, you should have, some undergrad undergrad courses that you can take. You don't have to finish at the junior year, but as as long as you finish by the time that you start stage one, you should be good. I'm sorry, stage two, you should be good. I don't know if that answers that question. I
yeah.
think so. Yeah.
So next one is for the thesis pass. Are the two classes you showed in stage one required? I'm not exactly sure about the undergrad side, but I'll strongly encourage you to take some research courses because it's gonna be really really challenging if you decide to like suddenly enter stage two. It's like, oh, I'm gonna do a master thesis. Like it's gonna be hard for you to start like start like at that moment. It's more like a natural process for you to start to have some experience and then develop like idea or something. So Margo, maybe you can explain like you can tell me like whether those two courses are required, but no matter what, it's highly recommended for you to have some like undergrad research experience before you choose the thesis option.
They're not required. Sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah. So they're not required, but it's really difficult to build a relationship with a professor in a year. So, and you would have to start that thesis option as soon as you're in grad school because you take part A and fall semester and part B and spring semester. So you really want to start you a faculty member isn't just gonna be like, come on, let's do a thesis. They need to know you and they need to be working on something that they think is thesis worthy. So you are going to want to build that relationship. And so while they're not required, they are a way to get credit while you build that relationship.
All right, next question is how many applicants were there? Is there a wait list?
I guess I can answer. So last year, I think there were between 70 and 80 applicants, and there is not typically a wait list.
All right, the next question is I saw there was 15 hours requiring a specific area. Is there a list of the specific area of study? Are you referring to the master's CS electives? So basically, for if you are talking about that area, any of the CS grad courses will work. So that 15 hours has to be in the CS grad courses, or like you are allowed to take one upper division courses for that. Like there are lots of specific rules, but make sure you talk to me at Margo before you decide to do anything. Because they're like it's a little bit tricky to fit everything together. That area has to be in CS. There was a mention of doing some courses to doing undergrad or the specific courses. Um, could you like provide a little bit more information about what are the courses you were referring to? I'll move on to the next one. So where the recording and the slides will be posted.
Um, this recording will be posted on the website, the 5-year website. I
All
think
right.
that's the last question. Is there any
Yeah.
more questions? And if you wanted to elaborate on the question about specific courses during undergrad. Um, yeah, I'm not sure.
All right.
I had a question about I guess the diversity courses that you mentioned. Can you give an example of like I guess each category of them? So like you mentioned theory, systems, and then applications. Can you give an example of, I guess, what one in each category might look like, or I guess give a class topic example?
Yes, give me one sec. I can give you a link of everything. So give me one sec. All right, here's the link. There you go. Here's the full list.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
There was another question, how relevant are extracurriculars, participation in clubs, etc.? Dr. Norman, do you have anything to add on that one?
I think they're relevant. They're less relevant than they were applying to undergrad. I think that mostly they're looking at academics and research. And so to the extent that your clubs and competition teams are related to that, then yes, they matter.
All right, any last minute questions? So for those doing under double major, is a progress in the secondary degree used?
Yeah, so typically I think the Margo will pull that information about your progress for the committee, and then you would want to indicate in your application whether you're planning to finish that degree so that they can figure out what your first year is going to look like. They're really trying to make sure that you would be successful in the program. And you do have to finish both degrees before you move on because again of this, great analogy from Zach the high school to college transition. Uh, I think if you're a freshman, that this can be a little overwhelming. There's a lot of information here. I think that you want to continue to take your courses and continue and think carefully about your upper division electives and what you're choosing. You want to explore CS and think about what areas you're interested in, and if you're interested in exploring them more in depth. I think it's great that you're here to sort of start hearing about all of this so that you know how to plan. But I can see how it would be a lot of information with a lot of acronyms that you haven't been around for very long.
Yeah, don't worry too much about it. It'll be fine. Talk to your advisor. All right, maybe one last question. No, we're good. All right, perfect. At the same time, if you guys have any questions, feel free to email the 5 year. Actually, you know what? Let me share my screen again. So, this 5 year email address, and I'll put it in the chat. So, basically, both like all of us are on this email alias. So, if you email that, we're all gonna see that. So, okay, one last last question. If we're playing in January-ish, yes. So, all right. Perfect. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It's really fun to talk to you guys about the 5 year program. And don't be overwhelmed. Everything will be fine. If you have any questions, feel free to schedule an appointment with me and Margo. It's not that scary. It will be fine. We're really, really excited to have you guys join the program. Have a great night and happy Thanksgiving.
Bye. Thanks for
Bye.
coming.
Thank you.